Okay, welcome back. Here's Tuesday's warm-up. I will scroll down just like yesterday, work through the slides. You may use the PDF to help you, and when you're ready, go through the lesson. Okay, the warm-up today is very similar to yesterday. The first thing we need to do in number 1 is make a ticket. We are comparing calories in grams, 120 calories, a mass of 30 grams. How many calories are in 6 grams? Well, to go from 30 to 6, we have to divide by 5, and 120 divided by 5 is 24, so number 1 is D, 24 grams. Number 2, in a 6th grade class, all of the students are taller than 50 inches. 51 inches, 60 inches, 61 inches. Every number must be more than 50, which is answer choice D. Number 3, which expression is equivalent to 3 minus -8? You must use a calculator for this. When you type in 3 minus -8, you see the answer is positive 11. Then you work each answer choice to see which answer gives you a positive 11, which is D. Number 4, when you're finding the area of that pentagon, it helps to think of it in 2 shapes. You see a rectangle on the bottom and a triangle on the top. Well, to find the area of a rectangle, it's length times width, and in this case, it's 11 times 5, which is 55. To find the area for a triangle, it's 1/2 times base times height. 1/2 times 5 times 4. Well, 5 times 4 is 20. Half of 20 is 10, so the triangle has an area of 10. The total area, then, would be the 55 centimeters squared represented by the rectangular portion, plus the 10 represented by the triangular portion, giving you a total area of 65. The daily dose for today is going to continue to be integers. There's a number line to help you. Go ahead and pause the tape and try it now. Okay, number 1, at noon, the temperature outside was -3 degrees. It increased 7. What was the new temperature? Well, we know it starts at -3. Then all we have to do is count 7 units on the number line. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and we see we land at positive 4. Number 2, at 4, the temperature was 6 degrees. If it dropped 8 degrees, what would the new temperature be? Okay, well, I know everything this problem tells me. It starts at 6 degrees, positive 6, which is located right here. If it drops 8, that means it's going down 8. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So it ends at -2. The third one is a little bit trickier here when you take a look at it. It says the temperature at 9 was -4. So it starts at -4. It increased by 2 degrees each hour. What was the temperature at 11? Well, after the first hour, it increased 2 degrees. 1, 2. That's at 10 o'clock. Another hour, it increases 2, 1, 2. That's at 11 o'clock. So at 11 a.m., the temperature was 0 degrees. Okay, today's lesson, we're going to continue working with the mean. And if you remember from yesterday, the mean is the average of a data set. To calculate it, you add up the total that you have, and you divide by how many there were. In this case, we're going to be doing a little bit of problem solving, so slightly more difficult than yesterday. It says Catherine earned 84, 92, 84, 75, and 73 on her first 5 tests. What is the minimum grade Catherine needs to earn on the next test to have a mean of at least an 84? So this is a pretty realistic situation. So she knows what she got on her first 5 tests, and she wants to have at least an 84 average, but she's about to take another test. So here's the easiest way to do this. Well, if we want to see how many total points she earned on her first 5 tests, we add those up. And when we add up her first 5 tests, she scored a total of 408 points. So if we do 408 divided by 5, right now, she has an average of an 81.6. She wants that average to be up to an 84. So here's a strategy for this. We have our answer choices, so that's going to make our life a lot easier. We are trying to see, after 6 tests, how she gets an average of an 84. So what we're going to do is take the 408, which was her original points, add it to answer choice A. So 408 plus 81, and then divide that by 6. So if she gets an 81 on her next test, her overall average will be an 81.5, which is still too low. So 81 on her next test isn't going to help her reach the average she wants. Then we try answer choice B, 408 plus 84. Divide that by 6. Well, she's getting closer, but that's only going to give her an average of an 82. So we can try answer choice C. Let's say she gets a 96 on her next test. So 408 plus 96 divided by 6, because there'd be 6 total tests, gives her an average of an 84, which is what she's looking for. So she has to get a 96 on her next test in order to have an average of an 84. Okay, the average growth of 4 plants is 3.5 or 3.5 centimeters. The growths are 1 centimeter, 7 centimeters, 2 centimeters. What was the growth of the last plant? So using your example from before, go ahead and pause the tape and try this one out. Okay, so here's what we know. We know that the plant, after these 3, grew a total of 10 centimeters. We know the total average growth of 4 plants is 3.5. So we are going to apply the same strategy here. We know that her first 3 plants were 10 centimeters. So when we do 10 plus 5, that's 15. If we divide that by 4, that gives us 3.75. So that means that that must have been a little bit too large. That must have been a little bit too large. So we will then try the next answer choice, which is 3. So when we add 10 plus 3, that gives us 13. 13 divided by 4 is 3.25. So that's too small. So that's not going to work, and that's not going to work. So then we'll try answer choice C. Well, she had 10 centimeters of growth off of the first 3 plants, plus another 4 centimeters of growth. When we divide that by 4, we get 3.5, which is exactly what we're looking for. It happens to be answer choice C. Okay, here are 2 problems. Go ahead and pause the tape and try it now. Okay, when we add up the 4 scores Jamal got on his first 4 tests, it's a total of 303 points. He wants to have an 80 altogether. So we do 303 plus 80, divide that by 5. 303 plus 100, divide that by 5. 303 plus 97, divide that by 5. And 303 plus 94, divide that by 5. And we find out that in order to have an average of an 80 to get that B, he needs a 97 on his next test. Number 2 is the same idea here. The average point scored by the starting 5 players on a basketball team is 15. The players scored 3, 8, 11, and 32. How many did the last player score? Well, we add up the 4 values we know. That's a total of 54. So to determine what the last player scored, we do 54 plus 18. Divide that by 5. That gives us 14.4. So 18 is not enough points. So then we'll try 25 points. So 54 plus 25. Divide that by 5, that gives us 15.8. So that 25 is a little too big. I'm pretty sure C is going to work because it has to be more than 18 but less than 25, but we'll give it a double check. So 21 plus 54 gives us 75, and 75 divided by 5 is 15. Okay, the classwork for today, there it is. It's bit.ly/mean part 2. Go ahead and try it now.